In the previous lectures, we discussed the operators, and for some operators, we have to learn statements. Alright, so there is basically a certain logic that you need to understand when we talk about statements. You absolutely need to master this logic and this sequence of thinking when we talk about statements. So let's dive in. Alright, first of all, let's discuss about the if statement. So the purpose of okay, so just one thing before we dive deeper. Let's create a variable and assign a value to it. So previously we used document.write statement, but now we'll use the if. You will see the two statements. You choose the second one, and with this one you don't need to write conditions. So if you click on only if statement, you have to write the conditions. So you can use the second one and you save it. Always give the condition between the two brackets. I will give the condition of A is greater than B and print it using the document.write statement. So the condition is that if it is true, it should print MetaBrainz. You can see the statement is not true, so it will not print it. If I change the value here, it will print MetaBrainz. So to write MetaBrainz in capital, you use the tag. If I write A is equal to B, that means the statement A is equal to the statement B, which is false, as you can see. So he changed the value, and here you go, the statement becomes true, as you can see in front of you. So it's printing MetaBrainz on the web page. And okay, so basically the if statement is used to think in a logical manner. Alright, so now let's talk about the if-else statement. So the if-else statement. Previously we talked about the if statement. Now we're gonna talk about the if-else statement. So to check the difference between if and if-else, you need to remove this type. So can you see what I'm doing? As you can see, it's showing if-else. So you click on it. First, you give a condition. So if A equal to B, if this is true, then this will print in document.write as hello world. You save it. As you can see, it's printed. Now write the else statement for document.write as something seems wrong, so I'll save it. Yeah, so nothing is printing as I've written something in document.write, but it's not working because the if statement is true. Now if I change the A to 20, it will print the else statement, and this is basically how the if-else statement works. So the if code will run whenever a condition is true, and the else will run when it becomes false. Okay, let's see another example. So write A, assign a value of 30 to it, write Z, assign a value of 30 to it, use the if-else statement, give the condition for the if statement that if A is different than Z, and give the condition in the true to print true, and in the false it will print false. So here you can see the condition is true, like A is different than B. So I save it, I run it, and here you go, it will print the true. If I change the value and make them equal, it will print false because the condition is wrong. So that was it for the if-else statement, in which the statement will run whenever the condition is true. Otherwise, the else function will take the lead. So if we don't go inside the if statement, then we go inside the else. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how it works basically. And now on to the next lecture. In this lecture, we'll talk about the condition ternary operator. They are mostly used to print a condition for one time if it's true or false. Alright, so usually you can print many statements, but with the ternary statements you can only print it once. Okay, let's see how it works. So first of all, create a variable x, assign a value of 200, and create one more variable y, save it. make a condition x equal to 200 and a question mark, give a value. If the statement is true, this value should be printed in y, and I write yes. So if it is false, then it should print no. Save it. Please focus on what I'm doing here. So as you can see, it changes its format automatically because in Visual Studio Code it corrects the wrong condition, so that's why. Print the value of y in the document.write and save it. And here you go, can you see what I'm doing? So the value is true and it prints true. Okay, so if I write here statement false, no is printed. By this we can print the statement once. Okay, so let's make another statement. Write x is greater than equal to 150, save it, and you can see that the statement is true. So if I change the value to 201, the statement is wrong. There is also another way to write this statement. I will comment on this and write y and give a statement that x is equal to 200, question mark, and if the statement is true, print yes. If it is wrong, print no. The purpose is the same, so add a semicolon, save it, change it into a yes and okay. It will print yes and okay. You can also add values into this, so put double quotations and write value with a concatenation sign plus. Also put round brackets and save it. And here you go, can you see in front of you the output? So it's printing the value yes. In this way, you can make the condition as a ternary statement. So what we saw here was a ternary statement. And now on to the next lecture. Alright, so we use the switch statement for a long time work. For example, if one condition is false, it should check the other statement, and so on. The syntax is like this. First, you write the expressions, and then you create a case, create conditions as we create them in the if statements. So we'll use the logical operators inside of this. The switch expression is evaluated once. The value of the expression is compared with the values of each case. If there is a match, the associated block of code is executed. If there is no match, the default code block is executed. The default condition is used when there is no condition that is true. Alright, let's now have a practical look at it in VS Code. So first of all, create a variable day and assign a value 1 to it. Use the script tag, create a variable, assign the value to it and save it. Now create a switch statement and it will show the case in which you can write expressions. So write this value here. You can make any cases. I'll create 7 cases, save it and assign the values to them as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and save it. Write document.write statement. Today is Monday. Copy this statement and paste it in all the cases. So change the days from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday and save it. And as you can see, we have the output in front of us. It's printing a sentence. Now, give a default statement in the document.write. Enter a valid number. As you can see, the value is 1, so it's printing the case 1 starting from 0. If I change it to 6, it will print the value in case 6. If I write 7, it will give you the default statement. Okay, so I'll use the break tag and the h1 tag. I cut this and I paste it here, and you can see welcome in capital letters. Alright, so if the number is 5, it will start from 0 and check every statement until we reach number 5. And in 5, it will print the value. So that's how it works, basically. That's how you can use the switch statement. And now on to the next lecture. In this lecture, we'll talk about if-else-if statement. In the previous lectures, we've used the if statement, if else, and now we'll use the if else if statement. Alright, so in this lecture, if one of our condition is passed on, it will keep checking the next statement until it gets the true statement. So basically that's how it works. It keeps checking the next statement until it gets the true statement. If there is no condition that is true, then it will go to the else statement and execute what's in there. Okay, so let's see how all of this works in action. Alright, so go to your VS Code editor, create a variable, name it as value, assign to it a value, let's say 55, and save it. Create an if else statement and give a condition that if the value is greater than or equal to 80, I will use the OR operator, because when one condition becomes true, it will print it. And if I use AND, that means both should be true. So pay attention to what I'm saying. Okay, print the statement using document.write and write you are eligible. In the second statement, write you are fail. Now, if I want to print both statements, I'll simply have to use the AND operator. So use the else if statement here, print it, and just change the value. Change the value from 60 to 80, save it, write else if and save it. So here you go. Can you see what I'm doing? It's printing you are fail because the condition is not true. So print again and paste it. Change the value from 45 to 60 and save it. As you can see, it's printing you are eligible because both the conditions are true. The value is bigger than 45 and smaller than 60, so it's true. Alright, so create one more statement, give one value that if the value is smaller than 40, it will print you are in merit. Let's give it a value of 39. As you can see, it's printing you are in merit. So this is used when we have to add a result type functionality in our website. Alright, so now if no value is matching, then the else statement will run. For example, I changed the value to 555 and now it's showing you are fail. So let's change the statement to enter the valid value. You can see the result. Alright, so you can display anything by doing so. And yeah, so if no statement is printing, it will print the last statement basically. Alright, so the break and continue statement are always used in loops. First of all, I'm making a for loop, as you can see. After that, I'm deleting my syntax because this is an advanced level. Here, I'm initializing var a equal to 1. And here I'm making a statement. And then I'm doing an increment. And then I print document.write. I type document.write. And after that, I'm writing number, no, and then the semicolon, and then the concatenation, after which I will use the br tag. Alright, so this is similar to what we did in the previous lectures, but I changed the syntax. Okay, so now I'll teach you one new thing. Let's see what it is. So if I go inside our for loop and I type the if statement here, if I make the condition of a is equal to 5, then I save it. Now I copy this document.write, I paste it here. Now I change the context and write hey. Okay, so then I make an if statement. I write the condition a is equal to 5, then my statement should print, as you can see in front of you. Okay, so in the previous lecture we did these things separately, but now we'll do this in a combined way, which means that we learned the for loop in one lecture and the if statement in another lecture, but now we're trying to do sort of a combination between the for loop and the if statement and how to use them together. So that's our objective now. Okay, so as you can see right now, it's a basic start. That's why we'll have to perform basic things, otherwise we cannot understand like some advanced concepts and advanced level stuff. So even though we're combining the for loop and the if, it's still like some pretty straightforward topics. All right. So as you can see, when I make my condition a equal to 5, if I put one more equals here, so I'll have to check the data type, so no need of it, okay, but we got the 5 as well, because the lower statement is running, as you can see as well. So if I want only the if statement to run, I will go here and I write my main thing for which this lecture is all about. Okay, I write continue, I save it, and as you can see in front of you, now my only 5 hey are showing and the other 5 no have been deleted. Alright, so this is how the continue statement works basically. We have one more statement with the name of break. When I type break after the 5, all the statements will be off. Just the if statement will run. So everything will be turned off and just the if statement will run by itself. Alright, so now if I replace it with 6, then it will run after 6. If I have 8, then it will run after 8. So this is how you can use the break and continue statement basically. And now on to the next lecture. Alright, so keep in mind that there are 7 types of data in JavaScript. Like there are 7 data types in JavaScript, which are string, numbers, booleans, arrays, objects, undefined, and null. For beginners, they usually do the mistake between the string and the numbers. Like they confuse string and numbers. When we talk about string, we write statements in double quotations, while for numbers and boolean, we do not use double quotations. That's a key difference. So the difference between string, number, and boolean is the use of the double quotation marks. For the array, we write in sequence to display it. The difference between array and object is the following. Objects represent a special data type that's mutable and that can be used to store a collection of data rather than just a single value. When it comes to arrays, they are a special type of variable that is also mutable and that can also be used to store a list of values. But when you need to depend on the order of the elements in the collection, you need to use arrays. When the order is not important for you, you use objects. So that's the key difference between arrays and objects. The last one is undefined and null. Like these are the last ones, the last data types, undefined and null. We will implement them one by one in VS Code for you to see the difference and to make you more comfortable with all the different data types. Alright, so first of all, go to VS Code, create a variable, hello, and write a string metabrains. So to print this, you write document.write statement. You do not use the double quotation, otherwise it will print it as a statement. So to check its data type, you write document.write and the type of hello here. Alright, so you use a break tag in the variable, it will show you the data type. Now if I change the variable to 25, it will show int data type. As I've written here, false, it's showing me the boolean data type. You know, like false is a boolean data type. That's the definition of boolean, you know, like boolean is either true or false. So that's why we got this output. Now you create an array, you write python.js and C++. Okay, so it's giving us errors because I did not use a comma, so simply add a comma here and you can see it's working perfectly now. It's showing us Python and C++ as objects. Create one more variable of hello, 1. create an object as first name, put inverted commas and write meta, last, double quotation and a semicolon. Write brain in double quotation. Can you see the output in front of you? So the display is not appropriate. It's not displaying what I intended to do appropriately, because I didn't show my data. So basically I just need to copy and paste this here. I change it to hello1 and I save it. And here you go, it's showing the objects. Remove this, change it into hello1 and you can see the result. In the arrays it shows both data and data types, but here it shows the data type. Alright, so to check null and undefined, write var x, do not assign any value, write here document.write statement and just display x. It will show as undefined because there is no value assigned to x. Alright, and now on to the next lecture.